Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending now. Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Hey, Marcia, how's it going?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I hear you great. This is Rob Jarsinski from Alternate Ending.
Super. Hi. Nice to talk to you.
Yes, I can't figure out how to take my picture down, but I feel like I'm handsome enough to allow it to stay up there and not...
You're so sweet. I'm in the airport, so I think I could do my picture, but it's not picture, is it?
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah. Look at that. Look, I've got a 3-prong growing out of my head.
Oh, my goodness. Where are you flying to? Are you headed to Toronto or... Well, if you're going to be on video,
I'm in Vancouver.
Okay.
Hi. I know we're not using video, but we'll look at each other anyway.
Yes.
I was in Vancouver and I flew last night to Heathrow and I'm at a layover here. I'm going on to Glasgow because my son, my 18-year-old son, is starting school at the Royal Conservatoire in Glasgow. So my job this weekend is to buy sheets and just set them up on Saturday and Sunday, and I get back on plane Monday to go back to work Tuesday.
Oh my goodness. What, congrats.
And my job is to fry at the airport.
For sure.
As I leave him, because that's the tradition.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations, first and foremost. So amazing what a prestigious program for your son to be going into.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, he's really happy.
And it actually kind of, well, first of all, I'm so honored to have you be joining me today. I think many folks know you from all of my all-time favorite films and TV shows, including Miller's Crossing and Pollock and Mystic River, The Mist, Code Black, The Newsroom. It goes on and on. So happy to have Academy and Tony Award-winning actress Marcia Gay Harden on for your new film, Confess, Fletch. And before I go further, have you thought about attaching Academy and Tony Award winning to the front of your name? Because I feel like if Ben Kingsley can have Sir and Anthony can have Sir as kind of preceding it, I feel like you could pull it off.
A lady Marcia Gay Harden.
I like it.
It's funny when people do precede you, as you introduce me with that so beautiful introduction. As soon as you say it, it's like, oh, it doesn't even matter what the name is. You just want to hear who's that person. Which is the funny thing about awards, isn't it?
Yeah, I could have let it breathe a little bit and really build up more anticipation, but no, it's truly an honor. And kind of going back to your son a little bit too, if you want to go back in time with me a little bit to 1986 and kind of as you were starting your film career as well with The Image Maker, right around that time, kind of tying it back to Fletch. Fletch came out in 1985. So I was curious if you have any kind of love or nostalgia for it, like many folks do who either saw it, back when it was in theaters or have come to find it on VHS, like I found it and fell in love with Fletch. Do you have any kind of close ties to the original Fletch series?
Always loving nostalgia for Chevy Chase. Always, just because of the comedy and the bravery and the physical comedy and kind of poking fun at things that in a really blatant way that we hadn't poked as much fun at that time. I happened to have been in school at NYU. So 86, 87, 88, I was at NYU grad school. So if you want to imagine a poor student with no time and only rehearsals and eating carrots for dinner, that would be me. So I didn't really go to the movies. I didn't have a TV. I used to be so jealous. I would look at all my friends who had like stereos and TVs and really cool things, because I was in my late 20s at that point, and that seemed ancient. And so I didn't really I didn't have money to go to the movies. We didn't do any of that. So I didn't come up watching those. But like I said, always a fan of that story, that fun detective story that's just kind of poking fun at it, and you ride along with him to solve the mystery. And in this one, it's kind of it's like an easygoing, because of how John Hamm is just so offhanded and easygoing. And it's like, it's not, the music isn't like, it's not that, right? It's just follow along with these charming people and their banter as they happen to solve this murder.
Yes, and it took me right back to those VHS tapes that I still have. Obviously, watching it digitally now, but I had a chance to catch up, and I remembered the sparkle and why it was so unique. To your point of kind of not taking itself self-serious and allow Chevy had a lot to do with that in the original series, and I think John is a perfect person to pass the torch to. I think many folks still don't realize his comedic capabilities, because oftentimes doing a lot of drama, but we're starting to see more and more of that comedy side that John can do. Very capable.
And in this one, he's kind of dry, and he lets the other characters around him be the big splashes of color, and he's the dry man. He undercuts the comedy all the time, which is a fun job to do. Not easy, but it is fun.
And speaking of the wonderful cast of characters, that includes you as the Countess. So I'm trying to, in my mind, figure out what the, how the discussion went, whether, Greg went to you directly or to your talent manager and was pitching you to come aboard. Okay, so we have this character, Italian, maybe part Portuguese, Countess, and we think you're perfect for it. How did that conversation go?
I wish it was so direct. Basically, Greg did go to me directly. We're friends from way back, early NYU days, in fact. So I know him from a long time back. I've worked with him once before with Hope Davis, and now just talking to you, my brain is sizzling out on the name of the film. Hope Davis Greg, it's one of his first films. I did a little cameo for him in that. Anyway, he called and he said, "Would you play this part of the Contessa?" And I said, "Well, she's Italian." "Absolutely not, because I'll get killed. They're going to be like, why didn't you hire a real Italian?" He said, "Well, we're trying to hire a real Italian, and she can't come over because of COVID. So would you please do it?" And I said, "Oh, grad, I don't know. Okay, I'll do it." And so I would speak to this woman every day who was in Italy, and she would sort of give me Italian, Italian accent lessons. And it was okay that I was like sort of larger than life, because the Contessa was larger than life. And so, but also she had these different backgrounds. So it was okay that it wasn't like to the letter. Most important was to have fun with it, to let her be this, blousy sort of a woman who was always flirting. She's always flirting. And it was so much fun. So I said I'd do it, and I started all the work for it. And it was when I got up to Boston, I just had an absolute blast playing with John as a Contessa.
And you mentioned some of the other cast members too. You're just surrounded by such talent with MacLachlan, Lorenza, Izzo, and then John Slattery, interestingly enough, having worked with. So it is that kind of small world mentality that I'm noticing that in filmmaking seems to happen, is people tap into folks they've worked with in the past and have experience with. Did John, the two Johns, have any kind of shorthand going on while you were there? I don't know if you.
Well, I wasn't in their scenes, so it's hard for me to say. But you just have to imagine they do, because they worked together before and they love each other so much. Like, just when you watch the scene, it's really, really rich. Slattery is so like crackly. He's just this crackly old news guy, and I think you just sort of fall into it. Everybody, I think, that was cast, for the most part, had a bit of theater training as well. And I think that always makes a difference in a show. I'm not sure if I'm not positive. But I know, of course, Slattery, of course, the one who plays the crazy neighbor.
Oh, yes.
Moo, what's her name? Anne, right?
Yeah.
So that also is a language in and of itself. You jump into something like that, and you have a language at hand, because you have that same kind of theater background.
Yeah, the theatrical background, especially kind of with the kind of the being very character driven, is absolutely essential, I would think. And you all up the ante making a film during COVID, right in the right in the thick of it.
It wasn't the heart of it.
Yeah, right.
It's
right in the
like
heart
the end of it. It's like the end of it.
But still very restrictive. And I don't know if you've worked on other projects kind of during this time frame. Any positives that kind of came from, because you typically hear about kind of the negative experiences. Did you have any? How was it shooting on a COVID set, I guess?
Well, for me, the fact of working at all during COVID was positive. That an industry like the film industry could embrace it and spend millions of dollars on testing and masks and protocol. But they did it because it's sort of here to stay, and still on a set, people wear masks. And they did it. We were up in Boston. The actors didn't wear it. And I have such respect for the work that it took to say, we're going to take this dinosaur and we're going to conquer it, because otherwise we have to surrender to it. And who wants to surrender to sickness? Who wants to surrender to that at all? You don't.
Well, I appreciate you all finding a way to work through this as just a lover of film and TV. I think, and I think society needed that too, to continue to have, something to look forward to. And, nothing better than a fun comedy bringing back one of the
Robbie,
world's. Yeah.
You can never kill a storyteller. We're as old as time.
Yeah.
And a funny storyteller, everybody wants that person at the campfire. So whatever you have to do, we've got to put that person at the campfire.
Well, I know that you're about to take flight again. So as you're looking to now set up your son overseas, what are you taking the approach of trying to create a similar experience, or are you are they going to get a little bit more spoiled maybe than you were back in your NYU days?
Well, here's the thing. He's an undergrad. I did undergrad in Greece, Germany, and Texas. So my undergrad was very scattered because my dad was in the Navy. Hudson is wonderfully unique. He knows what he wants. He knows what he wants to study. He figured this out. He figured this program out. So I'm sort of there as a guest, and it's only mom. Like, there wasn't a part of him that said, Mom, you're traveling, 15 hours to get there for 2 days and then 15 hours back is going to cost you a fortune. Don't do it. He never said that. He was like, because I have to hug him and cry when I leave him, because that's what mothers do. And that's what I'm going to do. Make sure he has clean sheets and make sure the refrigerator is stocked and, all the other stuff I've already taken care of. I was just talking to my sister. I don't really spoil. By some standards, my kids are spoiled, but by other standards, they're not. We're not like designer bag kind of people and, expensive meal people. They're very careful about money, and they're very careful. Like, Mom, do you mind if I spend a little money to order some groceries? She's like, of course, but I'm a single mom. So I want to shout out to all the single moms out there. It's a lot, and but it's so rewarding. And to see him be a young, independent man at 18, I'm just so proud of him. That's like, my kids are what it's all about. I'm so proud of them.
Well, as happy as I am for the release of this new film, and proud I am for all of the wonderful work that you've done in film and TV, I'm most proud for you. Just sounds like you're just a wonderful, wonderful mom. And as a father of 2 kids who will eventually be of that same age, I'm looking I wish you the best in this experience, because it's probably mixed emotions.
Are they boys or girls?
I have two girls, an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Awesome. My mother and I were once in Boston, and we happened to have driven by, was it Brown? No, we were in Rhode Island. I think we went by the School of Design. Anyway, it happened to be the day that all the parents were dropping their kids off for college. And all the fathers had their hands on their sons' shoulders, like, you could tell them giving advice. The mothers were all hugging and crying. And then the dads would melt with their daughters. And it was just like, we were watching it from the car. My mom, we didn't know anybody. We had no stake in this game, and we were sobbing. It was just that beautiful ritual of letting them go. That's what it is. It's a letting go ritual. And so they appreciate me going off to do things like Fletch in the middle of COVID, because A, it's funny. B, they can watch it with their friends and laugh. But C, they know that I'm also working for them, so they don't have an enormous call out like so many people suffer from. So I like working.
Well, they'll be very proud with this one, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a blast with it, especially for those folks, and there are a lot of us out there, those diehard Fletch fans. And if you've never seen Fletch, you'll also get something out of it. It's a great introduction to the character, even if you haven't seen. I love the film, and I wish you all of the best. Letting go. Speaking of, I want to let you go to be able to catch your flight. So thank you so much for the time, Marcia.
Thank you, Robbie. Take care.
All right, take care. Bye.
Bye.